like your mouth is becoming wrinkly?
Hey, there's Gene. He's awake. He's got his tea.
That's right.
You got your A, you got your T, you got your XYZ, Master of War.
Master of War.
This is listening to some Bob Dylan.
Ah.
Master of War. Before I listen to the new 7 albums of Bruce Springsteen that came out this week.
Jesus Christ.
As I decide if I want to purchase on vinyl or not.
You don't.
I have pretty everything else, because everything else he released on 2 box sets. So I have those. And now this is just showing the prolific nature. Most people have a few songs, that didn't get released. This guy had 7 full albums.
Jesus.
And I guess this is what happens when you have enough money. It's like, it would be us doing like 30 shows and going, yeah, they weren't really good enough. Let's not release those.
Well, that's literally what I was going to ask you. Is like, you do realize then he considered these to be his worst crap.
Yeah, that they weren't something that was releasable, which is it. Because the more interesting thing is, allegedly, one is kind of a country album. One is kind of a, delving more into hip hop. So there's things that he was trying that maybe just weren't.
Oh, the hip hop would definitely be worth it.
It would be hilarious, I think.
How
commercially
like a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah, how commercially viable it may be.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a beautiful hot week here in Chirac. Man, I was on the bike yesterday, and of course the bike's on the upstairs of the house. And even with the AC cranking, it's like, this is just too hot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had a heat index of like 107, I think it was yesterday.
God, that's insanity. That's an
average day
like
for
20
you.
degrees higher than it is here.
Yeah, well, you get it pretty bad there in the Austin area every now and then.
Well, we generally get it over 100 by this time of year, but this is a weird year, man. It was raining way longer, like a month longer than normal. Which I like the rain because everything's green.
Well, that's a rarity.
Exactly. Usually everything's brown. And then now it's been, under 100.
Did Donald Trump fix the weather? How did he do it?
Well, somebody did.
Was it Elon? Did Elon give all these rockets he has
he does
exploding?
live here now, so
Yeah, he's got, sure, those were rockets exploding. No, they were weather changing little micro particles that Elon was sending up into the atmosphere.
Exactly.
I hear all the conspiracy shows are hot. So if we start out with like Elon Musk is changing the weather.
So I attempted to take Elon's new taxi.
Oh, right. Yeah, in Austin. That's right. You've got the Elon Express.
Yeah. We got the Tesla taxi.
And you weren't you weren't cool enough to qualify, or what?
That's exactly correct. My pre-order on a Tesla truck is not sufficient enough to get me access to the taxi.
No, you have to buy 3 or 4. So wait.
You have to own a Tesla.
Wait, you have to own one of the cars, so another one of his cars will come pick you up while you leave the car that you own at home. Wow, Elon is the best business. Fuck Donald Trump, man. Elon Musk, he's
I'm
where
gonna
it's
have
at.
to buy me a Tesla finally, just to be able to use a taxi.
So you buy the Tesla, you never drive it, you put it in your garage.
But this is the perfect city for it, because this city is filled with Tesla garages that are never driven. This is the standard thing. We've got Facebook, we've got Google, we've got Apple, we've got all these companies that have a ton of 20-something guys making $300,000 a year.
They have no idea what to do with their money.
They all are told to buy a Tesla. They all own Teslas, every single one of them. None of them drive.
Well, this is why they need
Ubers.
This is the push for the self-driving cars. It's for all the guys who've never learned how to drive, who are afraid Like, oh
Right.
no, I don't know. That seems so scary out there on the road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ergo, we'll drive for you.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a perfect deal for them. This initial test that's rolled out had so many people interested to sign up that they literally stopped signups before running out of Tesla owners.
And it's Waymo is the one that runs it in LA.
Yeah, we got tons of Waymos here. Everyone bitches about them.
Now, they run in totally different systems, I guess. And that's the argument, which is the Waymos are allegedly safer than the Teslas. It's just the Teslas
They're
are
also
using
way
cameras. Well, this is what you're worried about. Nobody wants. If it was a nice car, people might steal them. Although I don't know how, because you can't drive them. If I'm going
to be getting out of a vehicle, I would prefer it to be nice.
No,
now, the Waymos use Jaguars, but they've figured out a way to make the Jaguars look god awful.
You just want to look like you're Don Johnson rolling up in your best Miami Vice looking vehicle.
Well, yeah.
They should have theme vehicles. That would be even better.
Yeah, it should play the theme from Miami Vice.
It should be like Disney World, which it's just a big box, but they have things painted on it.
Remember who wrote the theme to Miami Vice?
Jan Hammer.
Jan Hammer.
Jan Hammer. John Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Guy got us some chops, man.
Yeah, he did a lot of music back then.
That's
actually I got a couple of his albums.
Well, I know, and the Miami Vice theme is longer than a minute or whatever it was on TV. It does ramble a bit, though. I'll give him that.
Oh, it's great.
But it set that tone. It does represent the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
If you were around in the 80s, you hear that theme, you're like, yeah, I was there.
Uh-huh.
I was there. I watched it. Stereo TV being born, man. All the best people on the show. I mean, Ted Nugent did an appearance. Phil Collins. I mean,
yeah, I remember Phil Collins on there.
There were some very interesting guest spots on Miami Vice.
Totally bald.
Yeah. Hey, that guy, man, he got more pussy than us. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain, even though he's 5'3" and bald. I mean, the guy is like, yeah, I had a good life. There's a reason why you can't walk anymore.
The best video that they ever did was the Muppet one.
Oh, the Land of Confusion thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Land of Confusion. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, it was a hell of a song, man.
It was a great Muppet thing.
I mean, everything is relative because you and I hit right at the age where it was Invisible Touch for Genesis was the album that was huge when we were in high school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody else that's a little bit older, they're like, yeah, we don't like that. We like the Peter Gabriel, more artsy kind of a thing.
Yeah, I like Gabriel too. But yeah, the thing that's different, I think, about us in particular is that we really got all of the 80s and a little bit of the 70s, whereas guys that were like 5 years older, they got all of the 70s, and they were already looking for work in the 80s.
Yeah, and who wanted to do that? They were just coked up.
Yeah. We got to enjoy all of the 80s.
That's true. Some great television, some great music, some questionable fashions. What was it?
Fashion's always questionable, dude.
Yeah,
There's not been a period in time where it hasn't been.
Oh, what were they? The Zeke Havarici jeans? Why do I remember that? I mean, I
don't know. The colors were great.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like bright.
I've never been able to find sneakers in the colors that I had back then.
You wish you just had a bunch of them. They'd be worth money now.
Pure neon, man. Pure neon.
You'd be taking them to the bank now.
God, yeah.
I just got some Brooks walking shoes, man. They are like walking on air. Fuck Nike. Fuck Reebok. These are the way to go.
Yeah.
They are just, there's like almost weigh nothing.
My niece's husband is an ad exec for Adidas.
Oh, well, that explains the 46 tracksuits in your closet.
Free shoes and tracksuits, baby.
You're like, how many different colors you want? You're like, all.
How many you got?
All of them, yeah. We could mix and match. You mix and match the top, the bottom.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I've been wearing the tracksuits for a long time, but he thought it was hilarious. He actually took photos of me when I went to a dinner thing in a track. I think I sent you one of the photos in a tracksuit.
So like a nice dinner, everybody else is wearing suits.
Yeah. Everyone's wearing like suits, and I'm wearing a red tracksuit.
Well, hey, at least you stood out.
You'd think that, but the theme of the restaurant was all red. I kind of blended in.
Was that the idea? Just in case a hit went down, you're like, nobody's gonna see me. Nobody's gonna see me, man.
Yeah. What's his face? There was an actor that was sitting next to us there.
Good old what's his face, man. I always liked him.
The guy that was in played a fat dude recently, The Whale. Brandon Fraser.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he was there then.
That was your brush with fame?
He's not really famous.
And he said, hey, dude, you got a red tracksuit.
He's got, yeah, exactly.
We say, I wish I would have worn a red tracksuit.
Dude, this is hilarious. There's a little video I saw recently, one of these TikTok things that was freaking funny. And it was literally a couple of seconds. The guy wearing a tracksuit walking somewhere backstage where Will Smith is walking the other direction. And as they're passing each other, this guy drops a folded piece of paper. But, not like it, making it look like it's not intentional.
Right, very nonchalant.
Like it fell out of his pocket or something, right? And then walks, and then Will Smith notices it and bends down, picks it up, and calls out to the guy. Guy stops, turns around, and without any pause, walks back to Will Smith, takes his pen, and then puts a signature on the piece of paper that Will Smith is holding, then turns around and keeps walking. It's some kid wanted my signature but my autograph, apparently.
That's a baller move right there.
Totally baller. Like completely not recognizing Will Smith one there. And the expression on Will Smith's face where he's looking at the guy who looks at the paper, looks at the guy again, and he's clearly doesn't know what to do. He's never been in this situation before. Not only has he not been recognized, but he assumed that he was supposed to know who this guy is, who he would want his signature.
YouTubers,
it was
man.
like, what the fuck just happened?
That's a great bit, but I could see where you could actually pull that off.
Oh, yeah. Because I mostly don't know who people are. I could sit on an airplane next to somebody and have no clue who that person is.
Unless it was Elon Musk. It is that time.
Fair enough. Well, no, I'm referring to, it's that time.
It's that time to take your pills, take your supplements, be healthy.
The B12.
Yeah, I did that before the show.
I was referring to the chick that I flew to Mexico with, but yeah.
No, I was aware. The real housewife married a football player. I forget her name too.
Before we got on the plane, there were people, mostly girls, like younger ones, walking up to her to get her autograph for whatever reason.
And the baller move is always, hey, should I know who you are?
Yeah. I literally said that.
It's very backhanded. Should I know who you are? I mean, why all these people? What are you, like, famous or something?
Mm-hmm.
And see, no, the real line you should have dropped there was, you look at her and you go, I know you're not a porn star.
So you never know these days.
These days it's all AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's all AI all the time. And if we mention AI, we get way more boost from that 3-letter dude. So, I mean, it's good.
Mm.
I was playing. This was the first time this week because I got on over the TensorArt site that did, you're really cheap. It's our 2-year anniversary. So I finally sprung. I told you that because they wouldn't take the credit card because it was well, you can do the LoRa training, which is a fairly simple. You basically take you want to use high quality photos. Otherwise, that was my mistake. There was some mixture because it's like, well, do you want to put things that have other angles and that? But even with less than optimal pictures and like no money, I mean, this took maybe an hour or so, and it put out a LoRa. So any person, if you have 10, 15 photos of somebody, especially if they're, a few different angles, you can create a thing that the AI will just create images of them over and over and over and over. So you can't believe any fucking thing you see on the internet now. Nothing.
Well, you shouldn't have ever believed anything you see on the internet. That's what the internet's invented for, is to lie.
It was to gaslight, to fuck your mind. People say I like to
awaken your mind to the fact that nothing's real.
People say I fucking like to swear a lot. I don't get it. That's why I go to Random Thoughts. There's no swearing. If you want the unswearing version, that's where you go. Except there was none this week because I was just bored. It was hot on Wednesday, and I really didn't have anything to say, and I was playing around with all sorts of different AI stuff and never got around.
Yeah. So are you any closer to buying a Mac Studio? We talked about that on my other show.
They are...
Just the good old boys and stuff.
Okay, two things. One, all of a sudden, all of the ones with the 128 gig of RAM are not on the refurbished site. Which is okay, because it kept me from buying anything. Now that Bitcoin keeps going, the higher Bitcoin goes up, that's when I'm starting to think, let's trade some of this in.
Hell yeah.
The other thing is, and I maybe will call today, let me ask you, for the content aspect of this, the whole thing that I went through with Apple Card and Goldman Sachs, and I don't want one because I'm going to buy with the crypto, right? Well, they sent me another fucking email. Oh, get $300 back if you get a card and spend $1,500.
Well, that's probably worth it.
And I know that they're going to tell me I'm not a new customer anymore because I've already had a card, even though I only had a card long enough to say, fuck you. Well, it's only who they send it to. So it has to be attached. That's where they get you, man. It's like, fuck you. Yeah. But I thought it would just be fun content to be like, well, if you know that my email address already had a fucking Apple Card, why are you sending me a fucking promotion to then tell me that I can't fucking get the promotion because I've already had an Apple Card?
That's dumb.
Huh?
Well, you know what? You should probably just still do it and try it out because, once you get the card, just call them up and say, hey, I'm about to make a $1,500 purchase. I just want to make sure that there's not some gotchas that won't give me the $300.
Right, and then cancel the card again.
And then cancel the card on the phone. Because here's what they might do, is if you threaten to cancel it once it's open, that's a different department, they might do an override.
Well, I tried that the last time, and they were not going to budge.
No? Really?
Even though it was one day late because the approval didn't go through. Although I applied on the date where the promotion was good. I mean, it was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And the more I think about it, I'm like, well, why do I really want to, the 0%, it's harder to pay than if turning crypto into gift cards to buy something easy, turning crypto into something that you can pay for a credit card bill, you gotta go through a different, a different step. And that adds a little more to the pain aspect of it, which
I could see that.
I guess the good part about this is, I'm starting to get the itch to get another big fucking honking machine with a big NVIDIA card and maybe just go that route.
NVIDIA's up how many percent?
They're going up.
NVIDIA's up about 20% today.
Woo!
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I don't have to run
finally
Windows
not
on
upside down on it. I think I'm above where I bought it at now.
And the beauty would be the Mac Mini is fine for everything that I do normally. Yeah. For the AI stuff, I can have a Linux machine under the desk.
That's true. That is true.
And then even
downstairs.
True. I had to deal with today. We were having
VNC into it.
We were having breakfast at 8 a.m. and I hear doot, doot, doot in the basement. I'm like, what the fuck? One of the QNAP attachments became, oh no, it's blah, blah, whatever. It disconnected. And then they tried to rebuild it. And I think what the problem was, because it's been up for like 145 days, which isn't bad for a NAS. And when I wanted to play around with the 2.5 gig internet, we talked about that. So that's how far back that goes. With the dongle, I got a little cheap USB 3 hub with 3 ports. And one of those is the dongle, and the other was this external enclosure that had a problem. So I'm guessing the dongle is the issue because it's not plugged directly into the QNAP. So once the QNAP, there was a firmware update. So once I updated that and then unplugged the USB cord and plugged it back in for the external enclosure, then it all popped back up and is working. So nothing actually died, which is good.
That's good.
Because it was the newer one, which has 8 terabyte drives rather.
Yeah.
The other two have 4 terabyte drives. And I'm like, okay, I should probably start buying bigger drives for all of them and upgrading them and updating them that way.
The only one.
I know, right?
Everybody else is moving to solid state.
I know, but I have so much fucking data, man. It's all
which you don't need. Yeah.
And well, yeah, but it's music that I've collected.
Dude, you don't have 32 terabytes of music.
No. Well, there's video too. I mean,
it's mostly video.
The music would be great. I guess just get another couple of backup. All I need is 2 NASs.
I've got a little over 100,000 songs that I actually bought with real money and didn't pirate. And
hey, I had over 3,500 CDs that I bought and vinyl.
Yeah, and they're all on a 128 gig stick.
Well, that's because you go to MP3, which sucks balls, man. I go FLAC and high res, baby. Don't you go high res?
I go MP3 because that's all you can hear.
No, high res, baby. My ears are better. My eyes suck, but my ears can hear. My ears, they're where it's at.
Yeah.
Since we have so few, let me just mention that Speedy Bubble, thank you for coming in before the show with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sats. That's real money. That's like over $12 today, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he says,
like $14.
I would donate $50 if either a Ukrainian supermodel or better yet, Bemrose dressed as one would deliver a poncho. Now, if you're in the Seattle area, we can make that happen. If you're not, it would all depend on Bemrose, who's listening right now, though. So, I mean, maybe it depends.
So Bemrose would have to dress as a
Ukrainian supermodel, yeah.
Supermodel, I mean, and, well, same thing.
No, I didn't say, he didn't say female supermodel, though. I mean, to be fair, Speedy Bubble just said...
he's into the boys. Okay.
Maybe he just said Ukrainian supermodel.
I guess we're going to have to assume that unless another donation comes in.
Right. Of at least that or a higher denomination to... otherwise, it doesn't override. There's a very...
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be higher. But I think you're right, because he just says Ukrainian supermodel or Bemrose. No reason the supermodel wouldn't be a male anyway. So, yeah, I think you're right. He swings that side.
And Bemrose says, give me the 50 and we can talk. So maybe Bemrose is into dressing like the Ukrainian supermodel.
Wow. We might have a love connection happening there. Look at that.
Might be. Gene will even throw in a free poncho to make that happen. That's how much of a nice guy.
And I can put it up on the porn site. Hell yeah.
We'd have to get video. I mean, that's the only reason to do it.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it without the video.
This is Unrelenting. This is what you come here for. But that was it. That was the one boost. I don't think anything came in via PayPal. I'll look.
Okay.
But usually that's kind of like, no, nothing. We had one, a Mark Ginty payment failed 2 days ago. That's usually what happens with Unrelenting. It's like, sorry.
Payment failed.
Yeah, payment failed. Scott Gorman, of course. I'm sorry, Scott. He's every show, $2.50. But that's it. Scott Gorman.
Well, it's $10 a month.
And Speedy Bubble. Yeah. Which is broken up in a perfect way because every show you get your name mentioned until we get to the.
That's a good point. I guess there is it's actually inverse. What's the phrase? It's the opposite of No Agenda's way of doing it because if you donate too little, they just don't mention you, and if you donate more, you get mentioned up front. So we've got the inverse ratio. It's like, hey, you want to get mentioned more? Donate less.
Right. Just donate $2 like every 15 minutes. We'll just keep saying until we can't, until we take off like a rocket ship, like one of Elon's rockets, except we'd be the ones like right on the launch pad that just explode.
Well, it was supposed to. I mean, this is how they test, man. They overpressure.
Right. Well, it's like a race car driver. When you go to a new track, like they did in Mexico City a couple of weeks ago, part of the going out and practicing was to take the corners, see how fast you can go, and you don't really know what the limit is until you pass it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yep. And then Grumman just did a test of their solid booster I watched, which also blew up. It was not supposed to.
Well, that's a little less exciting for them.
Well, I think it's very exciting for them because now they have to figure out why something that wasn't supposed to actually blew up. Rocket boosters are some of the safest things out there until they explode.
Well, yeah, just like Tesla's.
I mean, yes, but that's the thing is they're safer than other rocket motors historically, unless they explode.
But you don't know they're going to explode until
what I'm trying to say is they explode extremely rarely, but they will occasionally, and then blow up a space shuttle on their way.
And you're like, well, is that bad?
Only two?
Is that good? Is that bad?
Only 2 space shuttles got blown up. That's pretty good.
Not if you were riding in one of them.
Well, that would have sucked.
I was just looking.
Yeah, and of course, now they're saying that based on all of forensic evidence of debris, it appears that everyone would have survived the explosion and then died when it hit the water.
Oh, that would be the worst.
Uh-huh.
I was just looking at why my spending balance was down on the...
why your what's down?
My spending balance on my Lightning node. The channel to the Podfather, he's down. Is there something going on there? The Podfather's channel is down.
He must be maxed out.
Everybody else is up. That one's down. I'm sure it'll come back.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, you just close the channels and you move on.
Mm-hmm. And then they don't close if you're using the service I used to use.
Right, which I was scared about that for the one. I had to close a channel, and it just worked, so I was happy about that. Because you're always wondering, like, is it just going to die?
Yeah. Well, and I thought the whole beauty of the Lightning Network is a timeout so that when you do a forced close, it gives it the other side like 48 hours to confirm. And if there's no confirmation, then it just gives you your money back.
Right.
Except my channel stayed open for 2 months.
Because you wanted to keep reopening channels. That was your choice. You said it that way.
Initially, right? That the reason that I called them up and bitched about this was I had channels that I forced closed that never forced closed. So their solution was, oh, well, you need to turn this switch on and then reboot. I followed their instructions. Which did close the channel, which is great because momentarily I saw my money back in the account.
Woo!
And literally seconds later, it opened up like 4 new channels.
Wah, wah, wah.
Which probably would have been fine had I intended to keep using the service.
Right. You had not, though.
Because what they did is they added, like since I first signed up, they apparently had added this feature because people were confused about, well, how do I open channels? What do I do? That auto open channels.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a feature that was on by default after this update. And, it just didn't exist before for me. And so it started opening channels. So I started force closing channels and it would reopen brand new immediately.
Whack-a-mole.
And somehow in that process, 100,000 sats, or was it even more? Might have been more. But whatever it was, I think it was somewhere around $200. Just got lost. I never got it back.
It went somewhere.
Somebody got it, just not me.
And Darren Rundle.
In the end, of the over 1 million sats that I got, so donations coming in for Sergian Speaks predominantly, of that 1 million sats, I think I transferred like 150,000 to you, and the rest was spent either lost or spent on paying for the service.
That's not winning.
It's a good way to turn 1 million into 100,000.
Right. And then I stole that. So, I mean, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Rundle.
Well, I'm not. I know. This way I don't have to think about it.
He just came in with $3.93 via PayPal and said, work slow right now, but wanted to send something. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully work picks up for everybody.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I mean, the economy seems to be pumping. We've gotten rid of that Iran problem that we didn't talk about on the last show.
Yeah, which wasn't really a problem for us, but yeah.
The Supreme Court is just checking off all of Donald Trump's wish lists overall.
Mm-hmm. Except that as of yesterday, at least, it appears that Trump's big, beautiful bill is dead in the Senate.
But it's big and it's beautiful and it's a bill.
The Senate parliamentarian, which is the person responsible for checking against the rules of the body, says that the Senate is not allowed to vote on it given the expenditures in the bill.
Because all of a sudden they're worried about spending money?
No, they're just worried about rules. And the rules would be that a bill like this one requires a 2/3 majority, not a simple majority. And they just certainly don't have 2/3 of the votes of the Senate. They barely have 50% of the Senate with J.D. Vance.
But we need the big, beautiful bill.
Yeah, looks like it ain't happening.
Let us ask the AI, what is happening with the big, beautiful bill?
How the hell do you think it's going to know?
You don't think it will? It knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
See if it could put it into context, if it knows what you're talking about, it's doing some research. Trump's one big, beautiful bill is currently making its way through Congress and appears likely to pass despite facing significant criticisms and controversy. Current status, well, let's see here. MAGA agenda pushed through using reconciliation procedures, which would prevent Senate filibusters and restrict amendments. During a White House event on Thursday, Trump appeared confident about the prospects, at times speaking as if it's already been approved, calling it one of the most significant pieces of legislation in our nation's history.
Mm-hmm.
The legislation is a paradox in American politics. While it may be unloved and a mess, it will likely still pass due to how power operates in the current political system. Republicans are using this as an opportunity to solidify Trump's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, they're going to come to some kind of a compromise on this thing, but...
Well, it seems like what this is Donald Trump rolling the dice that if he gets this passed, it will have short-term effect of making everything better, where the Republicans will then garner, I'm guessing, more seats in the midterm, which will allow them to continue pushing through more and more things. I think this is a temporary thing, so I'm not that worried, because when it comes to budgeting stuff, you can make a new budget pretty much anytime you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So what's in here, it does not necessarily get written in stone, but the Republicans really need to get it passed because the Democrats are faltering to an extent right now, including what's going on in New York, where they're like, no, give us the openly socialist guy. That's good.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
but they use
openly socialist Muslim dude, yeah.
They use ranked choice voting for the primary. Does that mean they use the ranked choice voting also for the main election come?
They might.
Because if they do...
I'm not opposed to ranked choice voting, frankly.
But wouldn't that give the Republican a big advantage? Because in New York, it looks like right now, there's going to be 3 Democrats fighting each other come November and 1 Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Using the ranked choice voting, wouldn't that possibly give the Republican an advantage, or would it just be because, the Democrats are going to vote between those 3? Now, what happens if the Republican gets the highest percentage of votes? Because you don't necessarily win then, because you need a majority. So then they see how many people put him as second. I mean, I'm still confused. I know Ben Rose explained this whole thing when it first came out on a grumpy old bench.
I think Alaska uses ranked choice voting too.
And it's very confusing to figure out, like, well, who's putting this into, who's getting the advantage, using that type of system, especially in a case where it seems like there's that many people on the bill.
Is happy about that are minority parties.
Right, which would be the Republicans in this case.
Well, okay. Well, yeah. But libertarians generally were happy with ranked choice voting when it was used because it allows people to essentially rank the guy that agrees with their, their what would you call it? Their
views.
Well, not just view, but like their ideals, right? So you could put the guy that you, in an ideal world, this would be the person I would like to have in that office first, right? Like a libertarian guy. And then put the guy you think is most likely to win, that's going to do the least harm, second.
So what you know is the Republican votes that will come in New York, where only 22% of Democrats voted in the primary as well, because it was a sweltering 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But the Republican voters are going to put their guy number one and most likely the socialist number 4 after Adams and after Cuomo.
There's two ways to think about it, right? It depends on what you think the other side's going to do, because one of the strategies isn't to put the least offensive guy second, but to put the most offensive guy second, meaning you got, let's say you have an actual socialist communist, you've got a Democrat, you've got a Republican, and you got a libertarian. So one of the strategies, you put the libertarian first, the communist second, and then, whatever order for the other two people.
Well, because you're assuming the commie's not going to get enough votes to really win.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Which kind of separates, because what you want to do is you want to prop up your ideal vote, your number one position, and then average or minimize all the other three. So if you vote for the Republican, or let's say you vote for the Libertarian as your top slot, knowing that he's not going to get enough votes ultimately, because there's just not enough people that are going to put Libertarian in. But you may still end up getting him to win if you can manage to split the votes of the other three candidates by propping up votes that the other side is going to not want to have in there because they don't think that person can win. So it creates for some much more interesting late runners in the elections. And that's why I say I'm not against this system at all. I don't think it's necessarily a better system, but it sure as hell provides for more interesting elections. And I believe that's what used in Germany. It's used in Israel. It's used in a bunch of countries.
Well, it keeps people tuned in, so the news will like that.
Well, yeah, the news should like that for sure. The parties, the major two parties, really dislike this approach.
Well, yeah, because
they know that
fractures their power.
Exactly. They just want you to have an A or a B, and they want to know exactly who's going to vote for what based on past voting records.
Let's see here. Alaska does use it for state, congressional, and presidential. Maine. Hawaii
Maine
employs it for special elections.
Okay.
47 cities use it. New York City. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Portland, Oregon, of course.
Yeah. I think California, or at least San Francisco, does.
Australia has used it, called preferential voting, for a century to elect state and federal representatives.
And look how horrible their politicians are.
Well, we don't hear much about the Australian politicians. I mean, I know they locked everybody up during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
But they have the best Lego Masters show. The Australian version, by far the best Lego Masters show. If you're going to watch any of them, you can skip pretty much the United States, especially since they're getting rid of Will Arnett next year and going with some black dude.
Yeah.
Who has nothing to do with Lego. What's his name? He was married to somebody. Black. Right.
Yeah.
Must be why I have to be more diverse. And this year's contestants, this season's contestants on the American Lego Masters are like an LGBTQ list of, it's like, it's fine, but understand people may go, I'll just go watch the Australian one.
Well, the Australian Parliament, like the UK one, does occasionally get into a little fisticuffs.
Well, that could be fun. And I do not build Lego, just to be clear to those in the troll room. One, because my eyes suck.
His wife is into that. Yeah.
She does. She likes, and it keeps her busy. Just let her sit there and spend hours putting the Legos together.
Mm-hmm.
For me, maybe as a kid, I had some Lego sets, but now they trying to look at the instructions. And
instructions?
Yeah.
So the whole point of Lego is you can build anything you want.
Right. I know. Not anymore. And I've had this argument with my wife multiple times with,
God.
Back in the day, you just had your big bucket of Legos.
Yeah.
And you would make your whether it was a car, whether it was a little house, whatever it was, you were building all this stuff out of the same pieces.
Yeah.
Now these are glorified models.
They're basically 3-dimensional jigsaws, right?
Right. Well, and you're really, if they're not really a puzzle because they give you the instructions on how to build it.
But they could be a puzzle
if you didn't use the directions. Sure,
if you lose the instructions.
Yes. Well, they're online, so it's great. You'll never lose them. And I will give people credit. Now, here's a fun way to make money. And CSB, are you out there, buddy? I want to figure out a way. I don't think anybody's done this yet. Because there are sites, including one that is owned by Lego called Bricklink or something like that, where you can sell instructions of your own. Mm-hmm. And most people will try to build things out of an existing set. So you go buy, the Disney Cinderella Castle set and figure out what you can build with that. Then you sell. That's the key word, sell the directions if people want to build the model. Crazy. Right? Now, there should be an AI that's doing nothing but figuring out what you can build more out of those pieces and making you money by being able to sell those instructions. Yes, I do.
Don't understand why you would. I guess it's for women or something, because who else would build something using instructions?
I don't know. And see, Brooklyn said I need Duplo, which are like the Legos, but like 5 times bigger for toddlers. I'm like, Dad, that would be better for me. It's easier to find the pieces. But I can't. I really can't.
Yeah.
I've tried. I built one of the little sets that came free with one of them while she was building the other one. It's just such a pain trying to look at and see the pieces and see the direction. No,
so you can't do it by feel.
It's very hard to do.
They all have Braille on them, dude.
They should. I'll be like, do that for the instructions. Where's it going? They all just say Lego. Lego, making lots of money. They're building a plant, though, here in the United States. They're building a plant.
They're a Swedish company, right?
They are from Denmark.
Denmark.
Billund. Okay. They're from, but they are building, I think it's on the East Coast somewhere, Virginia,
that's
maybe.
Right. Same company used to build the German submarines.
Right.
U-boats.
Because it was hard, though, because the water kept getting in, because the pieces aren't watertight.
Thank God for little things.
But it was like 100,000 square foot warehouse and another manufacturing plant that they're building here in the United States. So they obviously saw the tariff thing coming where they're like, we don't want to spend. It's way easier to spend a few $1 billion making stuff here.
It's easier to make shit that costs less than a penny and sell it for hundreds of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah. That way we don't have to pay those tariffs on it. But that'll be interesting to see when that opens up. Yeah. But I don't play the Lego, but it keeps the wife busy. So it's great.
Yeah. That's good.
But in AI, come on, CSB. You put in you should just be able to take the existing instructions too, because that shows you all the pieces. Just scan those in and then build new things. I always thought this is how Lego should get by any of the problems with copyright or trademark. Like, you want to build a classic baseball stadium? Well, just have a third party sell the instructions and have a link to all the pieces at Lego. Like, well, here's what you need. Yeah,
they should.
Like, there's nothing in the copyright about a Lego piece.
A couple of years ago, when we had a company outing in Florida in Disneyland.
Well, that was rude to out somebody.
What?
It was rude to out somebody.
Rude out?
Yeah, rude to out somebody. You said you had a company outing, like you took somebody.
Yeah. Oh, you're making a joke.
Okay, you outed them. I'm sorry. I thought we understood the concept behind this show. Yeah. At least I don't fall asleep, Gene. Yeah, during the show. That's a good old boy. 2 good old boys where sometimes one good old boy just needs a little rest.
Falls asleep in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
I know. It happens all the time. You should check it out. Anyway, apparently there's a Lego store at Disney World.
Yes, there is.
And so we got together, grabbed dinner out there, and then we were walking back to the cars, and we passed this Lego store, and like everybody under 40 couldn't not go in there.
Well, yeah, downtown. Well, that's downtown Disney. There was the big like dragon out front or something like.
Yeah, there's some kind of thing in there.
Uh-huh.
And the other dude that was over 40 and I standing outside were like, yeah, we'll just wait for you here.
You didn't want to look for some millennium chicks?
Not there, no.
You're like, hey, baby, I'll buy you some Lego.
It was late at night, too. It was like 9 p.m.
Well, that's the best time to mac on chicks at the Lego store.
After the lights go down, yeah. It was crazy.
Lego after dark. Down.
Yeah, I didn't get that whole thing. I think I played with Legos when I was a little kid, but maybe up till about 10 years old or so.
Yeah, and then you found Miami Vice.
Exactly. Damn straight.
Members only jackets.
There were no Miami Vice Legos out.
No, that's true, because it's probably again a trademark issue.
Mm-hmm.
A little Don Johnson dressed in the white linen.
A little white Ferrari Lego.
Little pet alligator. They do have the alligators, and that would have been perfect.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Little pet alligator on the boat would have been perfect.
That's right. Yeah. They really should have picked a different pet for him.
I mean, the fact that was the most unrealistic
amount of room on a
thing.
boat does not allow you to have a pet alligator. It's just that simple.
No, and you would think you'd be able to just get on and off at will.
A lot more room. There's nothing wrong with having a pet alligator. I've seen guys swimming with them in their swimming pools.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
We call them righty.
What?
We call them righty.
Righty. No. They're pets. They're friendly. In fact, there's a dude I watched that has a I guess it's a nature preserve or something you would call it, a place with animals.
Sure.
And one of the things they offer is swimming with alligators.
Man, I can imagine the paperwork you have to sign before doing that.
And you get in there, and this alligator will kind of swim by, and you basically wait until he comes to you before you pet him. You don't reach out, but he's super friendly.
Until he's not.
Well, they say that, but the thing is, reptiles, and I've had reptiles for probably 25 years as pets.
And how long have you been wifeless?
15.
Wow. Okay, so the wife put up with the reptiles.
Wife was the one that got me into this. I never had reptiles until then.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bought into it. You were like, man, that's what I'm taking from this relationship.
I didn't buy into it. She didn't want them when we got divorced.
And you're like, what am I going to do with them? Well, you didn't flush them down the toilet like everybody else.
I'm not going to get rid of them. They're pets.
Like that mirror sitting at the front door.
They live 50 years.
They'll outlive you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They're going to be in that house for a few years before anybody realizes.
They're going to inherit it. Yeah, that's the way it's set up.
How's the mirror at the front door? Is that still there in the box?
Mm-hmm.
The big mirror nobody has come for.
Mirror's still in the box. Yes, mirror's in the box.
This is the
what am I supposed to do with it?
Running game.
You can't destroy it. It's bad luck.
And you still haven't looked at it to know if it's actually a mirror or somebody sent a Picasso just to make it look like in a mirror.
What do you think
box.
This is? A Hollywood movie from the 90s?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Guy's been sitting with a Picasso wrapped
for
in
years.
A box for 20 years.
No idea. Thinks it's a mirror that he doesn't want.
Yeah.
Oh, just Yep. Sounds like one of those made for TV movies.
Mm-hmm. Like Castaway.
Oh, with Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a bad movie.
You remember that he saved one box and then delivered it at the end of the movie? Like there was, important to him as a FedEx guy to not open every single box
that showed up on the shore.
Yeah. And of course, what it had was like I can't remember. It was either like a satellite phone or like something that basically could have gotten him off the island.
It's all those nice little twists that make a story memorable.
Well, and it seemed like, sorry.
Are you okay?
I think I drank my iced tea in the wrong hole here in my throat. It seemed like the chick that received the package was flirting for him at the very end of the movie. So maybe everything worked out in the end.
Could be.
Because remember, his actual girlfriend like moved on within a year when he thought he was dead. So,
well, and really, how long would you wait if you thought your wife was or girlfriend was lost at sea or something like that? I mean, would you really wait longer than a year before you're like, life happens?
I mean, it kind of depends. It's, I think, I guess if you consider that person to be replaceable easily, then yeah, you don't have to wait long.
Gene's like 3 weeks into it.
If it's just a physical relationship, you don't have to wait more than one day.
I mean, I've joked with my wife on multiple occasions, like, so it's okay if I bring a date to your funeral? I mean, is that too soon?
No, that's about right.
It's like, hey, I mean, you're not coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want me to wait around for?
Hopefully.
Right. Yeah, if you do come back, then that's...
With all the zombie movies these days.
You got a real problem then. A real problem if they come back.
Did See Brooklyn send more money?
I did. It looks like I got an email from... Let me look at this other page. Oh, yeah, wow. I mean, I should have really shut off the audio warning, which you didn't hear, but I got very loud in my ears. John C. Dvorak saying donuts are tasty.
Oh, nice.
But that was C. Brooklyn. He sent 5,000. That wasn't Speedy Bubble. So,
okay.
But thank you, C. Brooklyn,
mm-hmm.
for supporting the most unrelenting show on the internet. When you think about shows, Unrelenting. We are a podcast. True. This is show, 180, 150,
122,
159.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
No Agenda just had 1776. I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of shows.
That is a lot of shows.
So congrats to them for being very patriotic.
They do 2 shows a year, so it's really not that much.
2 shows a week?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Per year?
2 weeks per show per year.
A lot of people don't know half the shows are AI now. They just have an AI put the show together, does their voices.
I'm not even sure it's half.
It's all of them. That's it. Never. They've stopped doing shows years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hilarious that they set the AI up to trash AI and say how it can't do all the things it's doing for them.
That would be the first thing you would do if you're using an AI, of course.
True. You want to push everybody in the other direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know what AI can do.
No.
Like, it can't tell you who wrote with an AI. Well, like you said, they're going to start doing the implanting the watermarks, but that's only if you're using an off-the-shelf thing. They've been
implanting watermarks for years now.
If you're using an off-the-shelf one for something like, the ChatGPT, then yeah. And Scaramanga just responded to the schoolgirl holding up the sign with Unrelenting with a whole video of another one. The guy does some great videos, man.
He does great videos. I agree. I want to actually interview him, and I don't know if we want to do that together, or maybe I'll do one more episode on Sir Jane Speaks or something. But I'd love to have him kind of go through the process he uses, because most people use AI for really just like 10-second stupid shit that has no story. Like, oh, check this out. I just made this, Whereas what he's been doing is making some very beautiful retro looking videos.
Yes.
And combining a whole bunch of clips that kind of are shots in there's scenes in a story, in a film.
Well, he likes James Bond, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of these look like Bond villain women who come from that time period. This one, I mean, I guess the AI got it a little wrong because she appears to be eating the napkin that she's carrying, but otherwise she's walking in a very fetching manner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But these AIs that you can roll on your own,
Yeah.
way less chance that you're going to have watermarks or anything like that because it's all open source.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that they can do at this point is already mind-blowing as far,
really good. Mm-hmm.
you know, as far as like, hey, swapping faces automatically, as far as adhering to prompts, as far as creating a world that most people, unless you really sat there and studied the image, wouldn't find massive flaws with it to take you out of the it looks realistic kind of a vibe. And of course, that's why even with the most top end of the Apple machines, again, they don't really hit it out of the park with the image generation quite yet.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff's fun. I told Scaramanga we should do a podcast just on AI because obviously he knows the video end, you know, kind of put it all together. It's like have an AI help you write a little screenplay, put it together in the video, use 11 Labs to do the voices. It'd be a lot of fun. It's where the whole over the entertainment industry is going.
Yeah. No, let's do it, dude. I'd be up for that.
Like, let's create these things, put them out there. We could have a whole production company.
Well, I don't know about that.
Scaramanga and I are the brains behind it, and you are the bankroll. I mean, you will start out with the 150,000, I think, in expenses, unless Scaramanga needs more.
That what you need for expenses? You still trying to get somebody else to pay for your next Mac?
Yeah. Well, I want what I want is now one of the self-built, I'm guessing, where you can put in a couple of those top of the line AI NVIDIA cards, maybe 2, 3, 4 of them together. And I think those cards are about $8,000.
Yeah, $8,000 a piece. Yeah.
So if you could do 4 of those, that would be like $32,000 on that. You know, the mother. So I mean, probably think 40 to 50,000 for the computer.
Yeah,
but you know, quickly. Right. I mean, we will be rendering things quicker than you can online.
Yeah.
It's way, just imagine the amount of.
Sounds great.
Imagine the amount of content that you could produce for YouTube that you could put out there and just rake in the money.
Well, and I still am looking for, and I've had one of my clients is a big AI guy, just does a ton of stuff with AI. And I was telling him, I'd love to find a solution where online it'll just take our podcast, and by listening to the podcast, it'll transcribe it. It'll create imagery on screen that matches what we're talking about and effectively transform an audio into a video.
Yes.
And do it for cheap.
Well, I mean, I don't even care if it does it for cheap. If it is,
I do.
I mean, at this point, I would expect to pay something to get decent quality. I'm guessing it would get to.
But I don't think it needs to cost a whole lot because all you need is clips. It's not like you need, like if you want to make a full movie that have the same looking characters, that's a lot more work. All we need is something that shows something on the screen related to the topic we're talking about. So if we're talking about AI, it should show generic AI imagery. If we're talking about congressional, bills, just some generic fake views of Congress people, just something that visually isn't completely separate. Because we could also put out a video of a podcast like the one we're doing with just, me playing a video game in the background.
Right. Well, any random video. We could just put Scaramanga's cheesecake going in the background.
Well, no, because then people aren't paying attention.
do we care if they're watching? If they're paying attention?
We do if they want to send money,
But this isn't about them donating. This is about YouTube views.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's getting views. So something that would automatically put together a video based on audio, I think would be a very useful tool that a ton of podcasters would immediately start using.
According to Perplexity, yes, several AI tools exist that can automatically add video tracks to audio-only podcasts.
I've tried one of them, and it did a pretty piss poor job. I mean, it did technically work, but it had large sections where there was nothing.
There was one called, they're recommending Jog, Jogggai.
I've not seen that one. Okay.
It appears to be one of the most advanced options currently available. It can take your podcast audio, automatically create a complex video podcast with animated avatars and customizable scenes. It handles everything from processing your audio dialogue to syncing it with visuals, requiring no manual editing or timing adjustments. It can even perform speaker diarization, separating different speakers automatically.
Yeah. Well, that's not that hard.
It's jogg.ai. Let's see. Everybody at home following along, just open it up in your browser and see if it's a real thing or if the AI made it up. Transform your ideas into stunning AI avatar videos. Perfect for social media, video, ads, and more. Yeah, well, I don't think you understand how long we want to.
Yeah, when they think of video, they're thinking of 1 minute.
And
it looks like it's $50 a month for the pro plan.
And I don't know if it's doing anything more than creating the avatars, which I guess is kind of okay as well. If we just have two avatars.
Not a great option. That's boring.
Well, it may be boring, but it's what 95% of podcasts are right now.
It's boring.
But this doesn't look like it necessarily adds anything beyond the avatars, although I could be wrong. They have a flash sale going on right now. Isn't it amazing how many of these sites when you go to?
It's amazing how you just get so lucky to hit a flash sale just when you're looking to buy something.
Yeah, unlimited video creation for $36 a month. Generate up to 480 motions, whatever that means. Can be used for video shorts, avatar, image to video, text to video. 10 custom video avatars, videos up to 15 minutes, Gene, which is okay, I guess.
Ooh.
I mean, it's funny that they give you unlimited video, so you just have to break your podcast up into 15-minute segments and then just edit them all together. You can create video in batches, which makes it way easier. So yeah, I don't know. I would be intrigued, even at that, for the unlimited video creation.
Check it out. Sign up.
We'll see and how that. That's per year. So per month. Oh, it's $69 for a month. That's how they get you.
Yeah.
So everybody better donate. Donate big. But the reality is, it would probably make you more than that in YouTube advertisements. And the max duration per video for any of their plans looks like it's 15 until you go to a custom plan. So there's nothing that's longer than that.
Yeah.
And it's just, custom avatar, audio to video, which, I mean, this takes you part of the way there. I think there's like one more service that's needed. Okay, so we have an avatar of you, an avatar of me. Well, but for the other part of the screen, while those two are minimized and you want something else, it's like, I don't see anything in here that it can create.
Well, there's a thing called Chopcast, which creates videos based on that podcast. But again, it creates two talking heads. It's basically going to be people who are not us on screen talking with our voice. I don't think that's useful. What I'm referring to is something that creates videos using the topics of our conversation as the feed for what's in the video.
And then, of course, Adori AI is AdoriAI.com, or Adori.ai you can buy. You can transform text into engaging video, create stunning videos. And this, I am seeing maps and other things. So this may be closer to what we're looking for. AdoriAI.com. When video matters, they choose Adori. Yeah, sure they do. All your video needs in one place. Lifelike voiceovers, perfect timing with audio captions. Media asset library. Get access to 100 million high-quality photos, videos, background music, and more. Well, see, that kind of makes sense. If they have 100 million photos, we start saying something like, hey, the Colosseum in Rome. And then, boom, motherfucker, there's the Colosseum in Rome right there on the screen.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That is what we need. What's their pricing? Let's see if there's a flash sale. Oh, no, sorry. Their premium content is $45 a month. You save 20% if you go yearly. 40 video download. Okay, wait. 20 video creations a month, 40 video downloads, maximum 5-minute video. Ooh, that's no good. That is no good. For the $199 plan, you get a maximum 10-minute video and 50 video creations.
Chopcast that does the podcast videos, that's only $997 a month.
Oh, is that all? Mm-hmm. Man, we're going to need a few more donations before we can do that. You can
do 2 clips a week for that.
And I think it's probably easier just to do this shit manually, which is pick like a different image for every 10 minutes of the show. And you know what, to be fair, I bet you we could use Perplexity or ChatGPT, give it our transcript.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going
to match the videos and do it manually.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have basically from the transcript, you have chapters anyway, right? So chapter is a change in topic.
Correct.
So all you got to do is just take the list of topics and you know the duration of each chapter and you say, create a video this long on this topic. Now that's sort of the bare bones version. The more interesting version would be to do it sentence by sentence, to where literally within that chapter topic, whatever we're discussing, it actually creates.
That would be a lot of editing.
But that's why you wouldn't want to do it manually. You'd want to do it with AI.
Right. I mean, can you imagine just going like Adriana Lima, Taylor Swift, Scarlett Johansson, and then boom, 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 boom. They're all just popping up when you say it.
Yeah, except the ones that are trademarked and copyrighted.
Everybody's trademarked, but it's fair use because we're discussing them and we are critiquing their style. Everything's fair use when it's fair use.
You know, there are more lawsuits happening right now on fair use or against fair use than ever.
Well, yeah, the music, baby. You're a big player in the Suno market.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you can now stretch these things. You can make different sections. You can redo certain sections. I want to play around with that. What's your best song? What have you come out with? Where can we hear it? Was it online? Is this like for YouTube? Because this I would think would be a way to make money on YouTube as well.
My goal was always just to start releasing albums. So I haven't really. I put a couple of them on X just to kind of demo it, but I've not released a full album.
We need to create a new artist. We could have Scaramanga do the photos.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Do a little promo video.
Well, they are all sung by a female, so.
Well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way to go.
Yeah. Yep.
Much more soothing.
Yeah.
Like sitting around listening to Sheryl Crow doesn't make you want to blow your fucking brains out.
It might.
But hey, if people listen, that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is the main thing. And the fact that I saw the other thing with Suno, have you played with the fact that they will give you the individual instrumentation? It sounds like, say, you can separate the stems. So does that mean you get drums on one track? You can get vocal. So you could really do some professional tweaking in something.
They're turning it into a real multi-track editing suite. Yeah.
Well, then you can extract it to something like Logic Pro and even make it sound better.
Yeah, maybe.
Add a little bit of organic for people like me who can strum an acoustic guitar. You'd be like, boom, you want to add some authentic acoustic guitar to your AI track? Those little things, I think, will start fooling people more and more if there's actually a human touch in there, if there's a little bit more of an organic.
It's not needed, but okay.
No, but it is, because perfection is the problem.
No, perfection is not the problem. People expecting mediocrity is the problem.
Well, that's what they're getting now when you hear all this stuff.
Yeah, I prefer perfection. Thank you.
The people that are listening to pop music today are wondering what the fuck happened. Beato did a video the other day.
He's good.
He's like, I saw people like talking about the lyrics of a Sabrina Carpenter song and what did she mean by this? And he's like, you fucking idiots. All these songs are written by the same like three people. They write them for Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, going down the list. And there's like a handful of songwriters that appear on most of these tracks. And a lot of people don't understand the having your name as one of the songwriters on a hit. It will make you more money than being the singer, which is why if you're writing a country song, you know, it's a very shitty system. I mean, there's pop now that does a lot more of this, where if you might have a great song, Gene and I may have written the best pop song in the history of pop songs. And Taylor Swift could be like, wow, I love that song. I'll record it if you put my name on the songwriters list, because now that pie is going to be split three ways. Or maybe you put me and my whoever producer on a song, you know, as songwriters. And yeah, you're happy that the song's getting cut and you know it's going to make a lot of money, but the artist whose name is on as a songwriter quite often didn't really do anything. That was a big part of country music like, back in the day.
Executive producer.
It's like they didn't do anything, but their name's on it because there's more money being made. Every time you stream a song, the songwriters get money. It's just like every time a song's on the radio.
When Darren does it, of course, then nobody gets money.
I mean, we're talking like Spotify. And I don't think I've had an audience bigger than 300 people, which means the amount of royalties that have been lost so far are like $3.95. Because it's like,
that's definitely not how much you'd have to pay for a license.
No, but there's no audience. Now, if I was streaming to 1 million people, then you might have an issue. But you hear these artists that are like, yep, I had 500,000 plays on Spotify and I got my check for $2. It's sad.
Which, by the way, you can put music that you've done in Suno up on Spotify.
We need to be new artists, man.
Yeah, I've got friends that have done it already.
Yeah, I've got a lot of lyrics that I need music for. A lot of them. The Suno would probably be great. I'm always
do it. Yeah, Suno makes that part of it super easy.
And like, hey, I can tell you now. Can you give it the melody? Can you kind of do anything like that, or is that still all 100% what they generate?
Yeah, you can upload a song.
Now, if you upload, say, a simple demo, guitar, piano, and vocal,
you can change it into any style.
Though that's interesting.
Yeah.
I got to play with that.
Yeah. You should.
We can be rich.
If you can record like a short, just, simple one note piano kind of thing, and then take that and it'll convert it into any style, anything. Because all it is just, here's the piece that's currently missing, I think, that they've got to add at some point, is just a MIDI connection. Like, if I've already recorded shit back over the last 20 years in MIDI,
right? You got your keyboard,
just to be able to send it a MIDI file and say, here, this, and then have it convert the MIDI into actual orchestration.
See, Brooklyn says we need AI ponchos with the 3333. I agree. How do we make AI virtual ponchos? Gee, the virtual ponchos might sell better.
They cost more than the real ones.
That's the sad part. Oh, and CSB wants to talk about the Lego idea. He smells money in the air.
Yeah, there you go. You get yourself a business partner. It's going to hate you within 6 months.
Well, that's good. Well, you have a lawyer. I just need some paperwork.
I do. Dude, I spent all day at a deposition yesterday. I got lawyers up the wazoo.
Well, that's one way to have them. That is one way to have them.
Lawyers in multiple states right now.
But the fact that most music is being created artificially without usually any, it's all in the computer. So letting the AI do it does not really feel that much different.
Yeah.
Than when a human does it.
Yeah. It's not.
Hey, thank you, Ned. Ned, he is 3333, and he wants to know if Poncho and Left Eye will play Taylor Swift's hit will it be available by Christmas 2025? It might be.
For what now?
For Poncho and Left Eye. That's what he calls us as a team.
Yeah.
Will there be a release of Taylor Swift's hits available?
No, absolutely not.
By Christmas 2025. We can reimagine them. Imagine reimagining those.
No, you can do things that'll end you in jail by yourself.
There is nothing we do better than revenge. Be great. Shake it off. Yeah. For Lego After Dark.
There are people that do there's a guy that I think I've got the whole album where he took like rap songs and then reorchestrated them.
He unwrapped
as
them?
Sort of Frank Sinatra style lounge songs. So with the brass band and stuff in the background.
Hey, sipping on gin and juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Laid back. My mind on my money, and my money on my mind.
I should look up who that is and then send you a link so you can go pirate it. It's pretty good.
There's a lot of good music out there and a lot of bad music.
There's tons of bad music, but this is what makes it funny is that you can take music that you wouldn't necessarily listen to ever. And then when it's reorchestrated, it actually sounds good.
You're like, I don't like rap, but I kind of like the lyrics. So if Sinatra can sing rap,
mm-hmm.
And I think this is where we're going. I've said this before. Like, do you enjoy a television show? Do you really like Friends, but you don't think Courtney Cox is all that attractive? Well, put Scarlett Johansson in the role.
Yeah, exactly. There's, I mean, honestly, Friends only had one attractive woman in it.
Jennifer Aniston, or are you going with Phoebe?
Obviously.
Are you going with Aniston. Phoebe Buffet? Lisa something or Kudrow?
Yeah. No, Aniston was the only hot chick in there. Everybody else was just very bleh.
And I appreciate her standing up and never wearing a bra.
That's funny.
It's kind of what made Friends the show that it became.
Was that it? That was it?
I think so.
I never watched it.
You never saw, I mean, like none of it?
No, I've only seen clips. I've never watched it when it was running. It seemed stupid.
And are you watching The Bear that's finally up into season 3? Been watching that. Have you seen any of The Bear yet?
No.
The Bear is great.
What is that?
It's on Hulu. It is Jeremy Allen White, who played Lip in Shameless. Did you see the U.S. version of Shameless?
No.
Oh, dude. Like the first 5 seasons or so, and it went like 11.
It was way too Irish looking.
Shameless is one of the best television shows. It was one of those shows that broke every rule that was wrong in a right way, if you know. It was something I think you'd like. But the Bear is the guy from there who plays a highly trained chef that comes back after his brother offs himself and takes over his Italian beef sandwich shop in Chicago. And then,
yeah, it sounds like it's right up your alley.
You would love it. It's good. It's good writing.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The Podfather watches it. That's why all the, if you hear, chef, that's all from The Bear or Doors. I mean, there's some just little lines that you pick up.
Both of those are way from before The Bear, but okay.
I know, but that's what made it popular with everybody right now, watching The Bear.
I see. Speaking of offing themselves, had some sad news here. A YouTuber / animal rescue chick that I've watched for years now just committed suicide. So that was annoying.
I would say.
Yeah. So, and I can't remember her actual name, but
but that's how when you care enough to not remember her actual name. I can tell you she had a mole on her left thigh.
She never really used it, but no, she was she had Save a Fox. So it was a fox rescue facility in Minnesota. And I'll bet you I've been watching videos that, not like every video she posts, but plenty of videos for probably 3 or 4 years. And they kept growing the facility and buying more property, and they had a ton of foxes there. Well, you watch enough of that kind of show where they rescue foxes, you realize foxes are just dogs.
Oh, yeah.
They're just small dogs. That's all they are. They're small dogs that make a much better sound. They kind of have a yippy laughter that they make noise. So when you rub their bellies, it sounds like they're laughing. And there are also foxes that have longer nails, so they can actually climb trees. Or they're dogs, rather. The foxes are dogs that can climb trees because A, they're smaller, and B, apparently their nails are better. So they can hang on when they're up a tree. So they can dig a hole just like a dog, but they can also climb a tree. Not straight up and down vertically, but they definitely will run up a tree to get away from something. So I don't understand why there isn't just more pet foxes, because they're about the right size for a pet dog. They're not as small as a Shih Tzu or a Chihuahua by any stretch, but I guess they're about the size of a a regular dog. They're a couple feet long, whatever size that is. So anyway, this chick apparently has been getting bullied online, which is a very generic term that could mean any number of things.
Right. Yeah. Tom Tomsky says Michaela Raines is her name.
Okay. There you go. That's her name. And so that's very sad, because I don't know what's going to happen to all the foxes now. They'll probably turn them into coats.
Well, yeah, this whole concept, and I'm looking at the news here, of cyberbullying, it's like, I don't know. To me, this says there's a much bigger problem mentally with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like there was a situation this past week, it made national news at a White Sox game. The second baseman, Kendall Marte, I think his name is, for the
suicide.
No, almost. He was out there, I guess, at bat, and some fan yelled something. Well, of course, they won't tell you what. There's like 5,000 fucking articles. Nobody will say what the fan allegedly yelled. Some 22-year-old kid yelled at him, and he was visibly shaken. And by the end of that inning, he was back out in the field. A pitching change, he was crying, then went back into the dugout and was crying. They kicked the fan out, banned him for life from Major League Baseball, which maybe is good because Major League Baseball can suck my dick. But it was allegedly that the guy said something about the guy's mother who died in a car wreck 7 years ago. Now, a 22-year-old at a ball game, I'm guessing, doesn't know the guy's mother died in a car wreck, and it was a your mama joke.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Like, oh, I got a text from your mama last night, or I did your mama, whatever it is. Like, this is enough to ban somebody from the fucking sport, from Major League Baseball for their life.
Fuck him. They can ban anybody they want.
I know, but it's like you shouldn't really have any fans of baseball anymore. I mean, trash talking is a part of sports, always has been, always will be. And that's why it's, I think, vitally important to know what exactly was said. Because if this was just oh, your mama was good last night, well, then that's a whole, every story you read, well, he yelled derogatory things about his dead mother. Now, you know what? If the guy actually knew his mother was dead and was like, glad your mother fucking died in a car wreck, then maybe that would rise to a level of being a total dick. But I doubt it. I doubt that's what happened. Who would know these kind of things? And it kind of irked me. It's like, this is all fucking ridiculous. People need to take some responsibility for themselves. Randomly on YouTube, because maybe you were watching them, which I know you weren't. I got a thing that popped up about Larry Bird. French Lick, Indiana's own Larry Bird, as far as being one of the greatest trash talkers in NBA history. And you're hearing from people like Magic and Patrick Ewing and Jordan that, Larry Bird, who looked like the unassuming white guy, he was vicious. He was vicious. And a couple of the guys thought it was funny that he used this more than once. But, it was Charles Barkley, and it was one of some other guy. He's like, Larry Bird during a game was like, that's just fucking disrespectful. He's like, what's disrespectful? You got a white guy guarding me. That's just fucking disrespectful, said Larry Bird. Yeah, but it's like, this is part of the game, the whole get in your mind. I mean, I've read stories.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between people you're playing with doing that and people that are sitting and watching you doing that. I'm kind of on the side of the baseball stadium on this.
Well, it depends what the comment was. I mean, because otherwise, it's like then if the fans can't take part in it all, then there's no reason to show up. And I would agree.
Well, I would agree with
atmosphere.
That. I think fans that only go to a game in order to yell at people should not show up to the game.
To yell one thing in the seventh inning was probably
Don't
drunk.
Give a shit. Fuck them. Kick them out.
Well, then they won't have any fans. That's where they belong. Zero
they will
fans.
have more fans because fans like
they
that
won't. Have you
are
seen?
Annoying to everybody.
That's not because this is the thing. I get it if you are being vile. I get it if you're using profane language, which you'll never hear on this fucking show. I get that because you're trying to keep a family-friendly atmosphere.
I gotta ask now, were you the fan?
No, I wish.
Because you sound like you kind of are.
No, I went to one baseball game in like the last 7 years, and that was to see the Boston Red Sox mascot when it was
Did you yell out loud, I may have one eye, but clearly you can't see as well as me?
No, that was not. Although I will say there was one game on an afternoon at White Sox Stadium, probably 10, 15 years ago now, when my mom and I used to go to all the day games because I, again, was a web guy, could take any time off that I wanted to, worked out of the house, and they had season tickets, my parents did, and my dad, of course, worked. I'm like, hey, we got day games, why waste them? We were at a day game against the Cleveland Indians, and there was a guy named Johnny Peralta who spelled his name Johonny, who was a, Latino player. There was 4 Latino dudes sitting behind us who were maybe in their late 20s, early 30s, who rode Peralta every time he came up to the plate. Hey, Johonny, your mama didn't know how to spell. Hey, Johonny. I mean, just, it was brutal and hilarious. I mean, it was nothing that was mean. It was just funny. Mm-hmm. In today's world, all these guys would be banned from the stadium because they yelled something. It's like, well, fuck Major League Baseball. And I want to know what was said. I'm tired of this shit where fucking 10,000 outlets report on a story and refuse to give you details and then make some kind of, moral judgment based upon it. It's like, fuck you. Give me the details. Give me the facts. Otherwise, it's fucking worthless.
I'm sure you could find that out.
I've tried. I've looked. It's not online. Unless the dude that actually yelled it out will come out. And of course, people will want to kill him then because some of the contents were like, oh, the guy should be killed, man. And then the manager was yelling at the dude, swearing at him, of course. And all of a sudden you hear some woman go, oh, it's okay. And people on X are like, oh, well, she should be fucking kicked out too. Banned. Like, people are fucking out of their minds, man. Like,
it's a private sport, man.
Worry about your own fucking life.
Right to do anything. You're allowed to do things when you go there.
Yeah, you have the right not to go, not to spend your money. They want you to go. They want you to spend your money. I mean, this is all a part of the game. I mean, probably not anymore. The trash talking between players. You read books like Jim Bouton's Ball 4, the Bob Uecker's book. I mean, there were some hilarious interactions.
You save the trash talking for Little League.
Well, baseball is Little League now. That's the problem. That is the problem. Like that, what they did to Trevor Bauer, because some fucking skank was like, oh no, he abused me. And then she lost in court 2 years later. He's still not back in the major leagues. It's like, fuck Major League Baseball. I hope they fucking crash and burn and nobody even knows baseball's a fucking sport in 100 years. That's what they deserve.
Okay. Should we move on?
Lighten this one up, everybody. What do you got?
I don't know. I'm tired of that topic. I just want to move on.
I did get another a pop-up from UPS yesterday that my package was en route for the guy in England or Northern Ireland. So, I mean, again, I'm going to fuck with it because stop using my email address.
Oh, nice.
I know you
more stuff for him.
I know. I mean, okay, maybe I'll.
Why don't you send him a dildo?
Because that would cost me money, but.
Yeah, but it'd be funny. You could talk about it.
And I guess I could I know you want me to send him like a little note, which I could be like, just stop using my email address and I'll stop fucking with your packages. Okay. And how do you not realize yet that It's the email address that is causing you all this grief, that somebody is getting these and rerouting your packages.
So is the difference that he's got your email.ie or something?
I don't know, because if I knew what his actual email address was, I would email him. And I know one of them, which I think was a different guy. There was he was like Darren O'Neill, like 64 or something like that at gmail.com. So but again, I don't know how these companies don't tell them, oh, well, your package has been rerouted. Well, I didn't ask for that. Yes, you did. Stop it. And again, if it was one guy, it would be kind of funny. The fact that I have to go back through my Gmail just for fun. I'm pretty sure there was one in Canada, there was one in New Zealand, and there were 2 in Ireland that have done this, that have used my email address.
Maybe the guy's blind and he's got a hard time typing.
I know I do. So it really annoys me when extra messages come in. I'm like, I don't want that. So I'm like, hey, I put that out in other shows. Like, anybody in Ireland, Northern Ireland? Because I'd love for somebody
listening to our show. Please stop doing this.
Right. Or if there's even anybody out there, let me know. I'll give you the guy's address and you can just go go knock on his door and be like, hey, I was listening to this podcast. I know the guy who's fucking with your stuff. But the thing is, the guy making a baseball player cry, or in your case, the Save a Fox lady. It's like there is a problem with parenting. And okay, the guy's mom died, obviously, when he was young.
Yeah.
But there's a real problem when people will put their self-worth into what people say on the internet.
I certainly agree with that. But also, a couple things. Normal people aren't going to start a fucking Save an Animal Foundation, okay?
No,
like
nice
that's an abnormal activity to begin with. That's somebody who has low self-worth, because you cannot have a high self-worth and do something that is going to focus on helping others. This is my theory. So this, you can argue with it, but the idea is that every one of these groups and or people that, started these groups that tries to rescue something, rescue children, rescue pets, rescue, you name it. These are all people that have some kind of a dark early childhood secret. They were abused, they were beat up, they had neglected, something happened to them. And so their outlet is quite often has nothing to do with kids, but it has to do with saving something else, saving some fish from going extinct. These are all related, because a standard normal personality type just kind of shrugs and goes, yeah, that kind of sucks, and then moves on.
Right. I got other things to do.
When you've got a personal trauma issue in your past, you can't move on. This is your redemption arc. This is how you, work your way out of this thing that happened to you that you couldn't control, is by saving somebody else. And I've seen this firsthand, and I've seen it plenty of times online as well. The second thing about her is she was an attractive chick. She was a redhead, but she had tattoos. And that's another sign, like not like 1 or 2 little tattoos that you got when you were drunk, like a lot of tattoos, but the personality completely didn't match the tattoos. She's not some, hardcore biker chick into metal music. She's this very kind of sweet talking, the kind of chick that you would expect to not have any tattoos, the kind of chick that would rescue some furry animal. And so that, again, was an indicator of childhood trauma and unresolved issues. And so this was, when I heard that she committed suicide, I was certainly sad, because I enjoy the channel and there won't be any more content. But
well, that sounds like a narcissistic viewpoint of it.
Well, it's a psychopathic viewpoint.
Okay.
She also, I was not surprised that it happened. I was disappointed that it happened.
And yeah, this is happening more and more. And yes, I think a lot of this is from deep-seated things that opening yourself up to social media, where tons of people. And for some of these, it's not like it's one or two people. There's hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people taking part. And it's sport. And they're like, oh, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they see it as part of a game. Like, well, and this is, I think, how you have to treat it, which is why I think it was smart for No Agenda to not have a chat room, but a troll room. And when people say things that are just trying to throw you off your game or they're mean, it's like you throw something mean back and you go on. You don't sit there and go, oh, wait, you don't like me? Why don't you like me?
Yeah, but again, this is a person with that predilection already and then getting the notoriety through a YouTube channel. I don't know how many subs there were on that channel, but I would suspect it'd be over 1 million probably.
Which means you're making a decent amount of money, which also pisses people off.
Yeah.
There's one thing that is success will get people on your case.
Oh, yeah. Because they started, so their original facility was in Minnesota, which makes sense because you got foxes live in that type of environment. They opened up a second facility in Florida, which didn't make any sense to me because
no, that's more gator country.
Think foxes live in there normally.
No,
Florida,
because of gators. Gators are hungry.
Yeah, because of gators. Yes, maybe. You should have a Save a Gator facility in Florida, not a Save a Fox.
Right.
But, the videos were cute. Like the fox, she's playing with the foxes. They're running around and she's feeding them and they're licking her face and stuff. It's like, it's wholesome G-rated YouTube kind of stuff. And so what then drives somebody to try and take this person down and get them to commit suicide? Like that also is some kind of deep-rooted trauma that would cause that.
Yes, or somebody sets off a bot army, which does nothing but harass somebody, and you don't know if they're real people or not. And, looking at online comments is never going to be a good thing. And for people, again, that want, and some of these YouTubers, you could tell, love it. They're the ones that will go through and respond to so many of the content of the comments. And it's like, but that also means you are really basing a lot of your life based upon what people think who you've never met, that you don't know, that you don't even know they're real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, they're real, but yeah.
The
whole accusation of bot army is just bullshit. It's, do they exist? Certainly, but mostly for propping up shitty products. That's mostly what they're used for. A lot of actual normal people that post stuff that somebody doesn't like are very often referred to as bots, but that's just not reality.
I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but you're a bot.
A lot of people call me a bot.
They're like, how could you?
Yeah, you're like a Putin bot.
Of course, there's a lot of YouTube videos about the YouTuber. I guess there was a subreddit that was nothing but bullying her. It's like
every subreddit is about bullying. The whole damn thing, the whole damn site is nothing but people plotting ways to take down somebody famous. Reddit should just be burned as far as I'm concerned.
But if you were this person, why would you look at a subreddit that hates you?
Because somebody told you, oh, you got to check this out.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't want to you don't want to see what's there.
There is never anything good on Reddit, period. The whole site Reddit is basically like 4chan for retarded people.
For people that don't know how to get on the dark web?
Yeah. I mean, like 4chan actually has autistic people on it. These are just stupid people that are on Reddit. But they're stupid people that are on the left side of the Dunning-Kruger effect graph. These are people who think they know way more than they actually know.
According to an article, she had 2.4 million followers on YouTube.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Like
2.4 million.
Is, and the fact that it was relentless online bullying.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, they spread false rumors, and being the sensitive person she was, it deeply affected her. It's like, but it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Or, and again, when you see things like her husband saying she tried for years to push through the pain, but this time it was too much. Well, stop doing the fucking videos then. Get off the internet. If for years
you make money, man.
Well, she doesn't have to be on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, she could just be in the videos.
Right.
Well, I think the problem is the reading the messages, not the being in the videos.
Right. Well, then that's what I mean. Stay off the internet. Don't read the responses to anything.
Yeah.
Like, do what you'd like to do.
Yeah.
But it is. It's crazy. Although it's also crazy that we had the stories a year or two ago with the girlfriend that was then charged and I think convicted when the boyfriend sent her, it was like 100 texts. I'm going to kill myself. And for 100 texts, she said, no, don't. You have a lot to live for. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself.
She was like, well, fine.
Right. 101. That's the text. Yeah. Fine. He does it. And then she's going to jail.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is total bullshit.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. That is retarded.
But to lighten up the mood, and I can answer this though, CSB, 1000 sats, 15. Ask Gene what flavor of Ben & Jerry's ice cream is most tasty. None. He doesn't drink Ben. He doesn't eat Ben & Jerry. If you listen to the show, you would know. Only Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs.
That is true.
And it's usually coffee. Haagen-Dazs coffee. And how do you not know that, CSB? Listen closer. Take less naps.
For most of this show.
Take less naps during the show. Go to the transcript. But, here's the fucking thing, CSB. If you would put the transcripts into a chat GPT, you could just ask, what is Gene's favorite ice cream? Because the answer to that would obviously be in there.
Yeah. We've talked about it more than once.
It is true. I don't have any coffee ice cream, though. I'm kind of disappointed. I had some mint ice cream the other day just because the restaurant we went to down the street here was like, it's free dessert Monday. Like, do you want some? Like, not really. Come on.
Clear out the cooler or what?
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, that's the only reason. And it was, if it wasn't like 100 degrees on Monday as well. But I'm like, a little mint ice cream sounds okay after a club sandwich and some sweet potato fries. I love me some sweet potato fries.
I love sweet potato fries. It's one of the things I really enjoyed when I moved down here, meaning the South, is the ability to almost at any restaurant have a choice of sweet potato instead of regular fries.
You're like, why wouldn't you have that? They are a lower glycemic index. They taste better. They're better for you.
Yeah, they have more vitamins and things.
You don't get
it's not just pure carbs.
Right. They're tasty.
Yeah.
Although the wife was using ketchup on them, and I'm like, I don't know if I can use. No. That's fine on regular fries.
Yeah.
With sweet potato fries, no. I don't think you need anything. I mean, I don't know if you were going to do some kind of dip with sweet potato fries, but if you didn't have like, a cinnamon, something.
Oh, mayonnaise, absolutely.
Yeah, just regular mayo.
Yeah.
Maybe with a little chipotle pepper or something in there.
Yeah, you could do chipotle mayo too, yeah. But something that just adds a little fat. That's the one bit that's missing from them.
True. That would be good. But ketchup just seemed wrong. That just doesn't.
It is wrong.
Wouldn't taste good.
Yeah. And contrary to what the school systems think, ketchup is not a vegetable.
No, not even if you drink it.
Nope. It's mostly sugar.
Yeah, well, most things are.
Yeah.
When you look at the bottle of things, it's like high fructose corn syrup before anything else.
Exactly. That's a good point. It's not even sugar. It's the high fructose corn syrup version of sugar. Yeah.
I always have to read those labels because if there's some MSG hiding in there.
When erythritol that was used as a bug killer for many years is healthier for you than the ingredients that are put into ketchup. Yeah.
You're like, it's tasty. I just had my pomegranate tea again. Let's see what's in here. The number one ingredient is black tea, of course, which is broken down into water, black tea, extract. Okay, black tea extract. Then sugar, regular sugar, pomegranate juice concentrate, lemon juice concentrate, natural flavors. I hate the natural flavors bullshit too. Monk fruit concentrate.
Yeah, that's the other sweetener that's getting more popular is the monk fruit one.
Allegedly more healthy, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't.
This is the Palm antioxidant super tea, pomegranate lemonade. Woo!
Yeah, and pomegranate itself is fairly sweet, but I like the tart. It's more like cherry juice
with a little more attitude.
Well, certainly the tartness. I don't know about attitude, but it's not. It's more astringent. like when you drink something astringent, it kind of gives you a feel in your mouth of kind of like your mouth is becoming wrinkly.
Hey, what's that in your mouth?
Yeah. You know what I mean, right? You know what astringent tastes like.
Wrinkly. I don't know if I've ever had anything
or
that
the
made
mouth feel of astringent.
Don't know if I've ever gone for a wrinkly mouth.
Have you ever had black cherry concentrate that you've drank?
Maybe. I mean, I think I've had a black cherry drink. I don't know.
Cherries have that kind of...
It's a tartness.
It's a tartness,
not
but it's
as bad as lemonade.
I mean, lemonade's a little different because that's just purely acidic. This is more... it's a slightly different mouthfeel.
Welcome to Unrelenting Mouthfeel. This is...
Yeah. I wonder if there is a better description of that.
What kind of mouthfeels do you like? Let us know. We'll just go over to our pages on X, which is Sir Gene TX and Darren O'Neill, DARRENONEILL.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are 2 L's at the end. Surprise.
Yeah, it's a tartness with a slight sour kick is what AI is describing it as.
Yeah, well, we've had, remember the 80s were, if nothing, with the candies.
May find the taste of astringent similar to red wine. Okay, red wine. I haven't thought of that. Yeah, like the mouthfeel of red wine.
Yeah, I like that.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like it's different than just acidic. It doesn't have to be acidic. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. But it's
still a little sour.
Just it could be, but it just turns your mouth kind of like. Hard to describe the mouthfeel because it's not sweet or sour or salty. It's different, but it's noticeable. Like you can recognize it.
Like if you have some Nerds candy, would that do it for you?
Nerds candy is just sour. No,
whatever you're into.
It's hard to describe.
Obviously, that much
Clearly.
we figured out by now.
Yeah, but it's almost kind of numbs your mouth.
Yes, of course, the astringent nature comes from tannins, which wine contains. This from Dr. Ned.
It is true.
I mean, I've drank a little red wine in my day, but only GTS, made by Tom Seaver's own hands.
Huh.
Although there won't be any more because, well, he's dead too.
Mm-hmm.
But that stuff's good. A nice cab salve.
Mm-hmm.
But only on special occasions at my parents' house. When she opens up a bottle, my mom's got a bunch of Tom Seaver wine. But for me, it's like alcohol, no. With the, with the AFib allegedly. Although, again, once I took those antibiotics after the last time only lasted a couple of days, and then the antibiotics, boom, none. And I've been back on the bike and have to do it again today. Been doing 45 minutes to an hour every day but Sunday. Getting moving.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
I mean, it was like there was like an attitude to the Apple Watch, like, hey, you've been doing a lot of exercise this week.
Really?
Like with some kind of surprise, I'm like,
it told you that.
Yeah. I'm like, what's that all about? We've noticed. Keep it up. The mothership knows.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Tim Cook's like, oh, he's generating more electricity for us. Good.
Right. Can you hook up the recumbent bike back to the mothership so we can use what you got going? That's why it makes so much noise. It's generating plutonium for us to use.
Yeah.
But I will credit YouTube as being the savior for doing exercise.
Okay.
Because I sit on the recumbent bike, and I'm probably going to have to get the TV replaced. It was my mom's cousin, who was more of like a grandmother to my wife and I. When she passed away, we took her 40-inch TV, I think it is, and put it right in front of the recumbent bike. But it's starting to get some lines through it faintly, so the panel's going. But having that 40-inch screen in front of the recumbent bike with YouTube on it, it totally takes your mind off the fact that you're riding the bike.
Yeah.
You go, oh, boom, I can learn about AI, or boom, I can see what's going on here. Boom, just open up a new video. And there's
Speaking of video,
so many videos.
one new thing I got is I got the new X-Real 1 AR Pro glasses.
Oh, I've not heard of these.
Yeah, this came out. I mean, I've had their old model for a long time, 4 years, but this is the new model, which adds a bunch of new features. It's basically like 3D glasses, but without the giant thing in front of your face. They just look like Ray-Ban sunglasses.
Oh, those are kind of fancy. $600 for the X-Real 1 Pro. Is that what you're on?
Yeah.
For pre-order right now. Well, you got in early.
Yeah, I pre-ordered. And they are really nice. Their old set is really nice too, but they added some more functionality. Like now they've got a mode where the screen you're looking at basically hovers in one place. So as you move your head around, the image remains stationary so that it looks like it's just, floating in one spot. Which also means they've now added a extra wide mode, which can display, like if you're watching a wide format movie, for example.
While you're driving your Tesla down the street?
Yeah, exactly. While you're driving, but not really driving. You're just sitting in your Tesla. But you can watch it in this extra wide mode where it basically is creating this virtual wide screen. And then you can turn your head slightly to the left or right to get the very edge of that screen. So it's more like being in a movie theater and sitting closer to the screen, to where if you just look at the center of the screen, you're not really seeing the two sides of the screen.
You are such a nerd.
What does this have to do with nerding? This is something that everyone's going to have soon.
I'm not sure about that, because we heard that about 10 years ago on some of these things. I don't know if society is going to allow this, because less and less people are wearing glasses.
DOF, man. It's a done deal.
Here's something else I've noticed. Less and less people are wearing glasses now. Everybody is contacts or LASIKs.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see anybody, especially younger folk,
I agree,
wearing glasses. So nothing's going to be more obvious. Although I guess sunglasses would be the one.
They still don't have sun contact lenses as far as I know.
No, but so somebody wearing sunglasses you could get away with. But otherwise, you're going to look out of place wearing glasses.
Oh, no. These look like Ray-Bans. You're never out of place looking like that.
Until people see the big blinking light. Recording!
There's no blinking light.
So they're even on their page for the product, there's a video with Linus's picture on it. So that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, Linus approved.
It looks like the glasses on why is it on Jimmy Fallon's face? It looks like the glasses
are approved.
It's like 8 inches in front of them, though, where it's not like they're sitting on your nose. It's like they're further in front. Do these like sit way further front
they
than?
Don't. They sit a little bit further, but not much.
It's interesting.
They work quite well. The video is stabilized. It hovers in one place. They also let you do the full 3D mode. So if I plug them into my laptop, I can play video games in full 3D.
Well, that's a nice feature.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that's what they're mainly for, not for going out and about. And
they're totally for going out and about. They can also place the video like in the corner of your vision so that you're seeing everything normal plus a little video.
So if anybody runs into Gene at a meetup or a party, it's very possible he's watching a television show while he's talking to you.
An optional camera that snaps into the nose bridge so that the glasses can watch everybody as well.
Well, this is good. Then you're putting this back to the mothership. Well, this was, in sci-fi before.
Yeah.
The concept that you're at a party and all of a sudden somebody's walking up to you.
It's got a little square around their head.
Right.
It tells you exactly
it's like,
who they are.
Adam Curry.
It's available right now for people like me.
Right. I mean, that's great for people that can't remember names. It identifies the person.
That's me. I cannot remember a name.
And all of a sudden, Gene's like, hey, how are the wife and the 3 kids? Man, they must be keeping you busy. Little Jimmy, Jenny, and Doria. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's all popping right up on a screen, and you hope the AI is not lying to you on the screen.
Yeah, it's hallucinating the whole time.
People just think you're drunk.
Yeah. Oh, they work. They work well, and they have LED shutters in the front, so you can change how see-through the front lenses.
Oh,
so
well, that's fancy.
Want to chill and watch a movie, you can make the front of the glasses totally black, so that no light is coming in to interrupt your movie watching. If you're doing something else on them that you want to look through the lenses, you could do that. Turn that to no darkness at all.
Yeah, well, let's see if they still work a year from now.
Well, my last set is 2 years old, and they still work. In fact, I need to get rid of those. I need to sell those on eBay.
Well, right now, sell them right here, right now. Who needs a pair?
I could. Yeah. I think they're currently selling for $299 online, so I'd probably sell them for $200.
What brand were they?
X-Real.
I'm sorry, what model number?
It's the Air 2 Pros, I believe.
The Air 2 Pro right now selling online for $299. Gene will give you a good deal, $150 right now, half off.
I'm not going to do half off. I'd get $200 for them on eBay.
Yeah, but then people go, I didn't get them. Give me my money back, eBay. I'll send you.
You never send anything without a signature required.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they're not going to open it up and say, no, they just sent me a pair of regular Ray-Bans.
Well, they can say anything they want.
People on eBay suck, Gene.
Do they?
Yeah. And
I think that might only be the baseball card ones.
Probably. They're not. Baseball fans, horrible. And next week, Friday, is the 4th of July, so I won't be around. I don't know if...
okay.
It's a holiday for everybody. Enjoy that. And then we'll be back again the week after for more Unrelenting.
Let's see if we can get more donations while we're off the air.
Yeah, that might be better. People are like, the more you guys don't do a show, the more we like it. Stay unrelenting. Theme music. Pop, 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 pop.